Okay, thank you all for tuning in for this call. I am so excited to talk to you about the preferred customer program and everything that that entails, everything that was rolled out with that, including the earning volume that we now have as part of our compensation plan, and also the minimum activity requirement that is also a part of the coach policies and procedures per se. When I a few years ago was a part of the coach advisory board, this is something that was talked about way back then. So this is very much something that has been years in the making. And I know that they've put a lot of thought and detail into this. And I am so grateful that we have a very forward thinking Beachbody corporate and legal team that is always looking at how do we make sure that we can avoid any potential problems. I know that they looked at other network marketing companies that were being scrutinized and said, well, let's just see how far away we can get away from anything that resembles what they were being scrutinized for. And, Beachbody has never been in any kind of problem. And I think it's like, for several reasons. But one of them I just feel is that they're very forward thinking of like, let's always just do what we can to be proactive. And I can see that a lot of the changes that they've made are them being very proactive in really solidifying our compensation plan and putting our best interest at heart. So all of this is positive changes that I see. And also I think when you have a certain, how I explain it, you'll see that it's actually very simple, and a lot of it will just be uncomfortable for us at the beginning during quote unquote that reclassification period. But moving forward, it's going to be something where it's just like very simple and very easy to understand. So I'm going to share my screen because it will help me stay on track more than anything, to be honest. So first, I'm just going to dive in and go over what the preferred customer program is and talk about a few facts with that. Now, I am recording this call. If you watch this in a couple weeks or maybe a couple months, I do want to make sure that you pay attention to the coach FAQs, because there was one thing that I was preparing for at the beginning of this week, preparing to tell you guys all, because I'm like, oh, this is kind of a big deal. And then literally later that day, the roundtable, which is a Facebook group for 5-star diamonds and above, there was a video put out in the roundtable where there was a change made. So there's constantly adjustments being made. And so, but that change that was made related to one of the big things that I was like, make sure you guys all pay attention to this. But now I'm like, okay, that part is irrelevant. So things are changing. So make sure that if you're watching the recording of this, that you refer to Coach FAQ. So a couple things. The preferred customer program, you can look at this and realize it's essentially what we were considering quote unquote discount coaches. So a preferred customer is still able to get 25% on their products, but they are no longer getting coach emails. They're no longer have the ability to earn income. They're no longer entering in their coach, like the tax ID number to create their coach account. And so they're not a coach, but they are getting a discount by paying a membership fee. So you now have three options when you are enrolling people. They can come in as a customer, a preferred customer, or a coach. Now, the preferred customer, you want to realize that even though it has customer in the name, it is essentially treated very much like a coach when it comes to Beachbody, with compensation, with a lot of things. So that means that they are going to show up in your graphical genealogy, which is your binary organization. Binary just means you have two legs. So that's what Beachbody is referred to as a binary compensation plan. So they get a spot in your graphical genealogy. And that means that their orders are contributing towards your volume that you get paid off of, but you will not be earning commission off of those orders. Just like you don't earn commission off of coach orders, but those orders go towards the volume that you are paid off of. Okay, so it's very exact like a coach in that way. They also do contribute towards your rank. So this means that someone can be a coach, can be an emerald coach with two preferred customers, one on the left, one on the right. This also means you can be a diamond coach with 3 preferred customers plus an emerald, and another 3 preferred customers and an emerald on the other side. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I have so many coaches that are being reclassified, don't stress out. As long as they are an active preferred customer, it's still going to contribute towards your rank. Now, the concern that I was having was that everybody was going to be reclassified and looked at the same time. And so there are scenarios where someone has a emerald coach and 2 preferred customers underneath them, but really that emerald coach doesn't have any other clients. And so I was worried about those. Essentially, they're kind of like discount emerald coaches being reclassified at the exact same time that their 2 customers were going to be coaches would be reclassified as well. And this point was brought up to the coaching corporate team, and their resolution for that was that if someone is a paid emerald coach any point during the month of September, they will be reclassified in 6 months later. So they will not have the same reclassification date that we all have in September 30th. Okay. So emerald and above. Now they have to be a paid emerald any one of the bonus weeks in September. So it doesn't, lifetime emerald doesn't matter. It's paid emerald any one of the weeks in September. Does that make sense? So they're kind of getting like an extra 6 months here at the beginning before they're having that snapshot on their business taken before they may be reclassified. Now, if you've not looked at any of their training and you're like, what are you talking about reclassified and what are the requirements? I'll come to that. But I just wanted to let you know, because I know some people were concerned about that. I probably jumped the gun on addressing that. So put that on the shelf if what I just said made no sense. We'll come back to it. Okay, coming back to our screen. So in regards to you as a sponsor earning Success Club points and commissions and volume and all of that from preferred customer orders, it's going to work exactly the same as coach orders. So exact same thing when a new coach places an order, same thing when a new customer places an order. So when like an existing coach orders another challenge pack, like when they renew their Beachbody on Demand and it gives you team volume, but you don't get the commissions off of that, it's all the same thing. Okay. I need to move my screen because I can't see my slides. There we go. Now, preferred customers are still going to have that opportunity to buy before everybody else, just like we have as coaches. They are still going to have a membership fee. They will still also have an enrollment fee, and that enrollment fee is going to be the exact same as it works for a coach enrollment fee, meaning that if they enroll as a preferred customer with a challenge pack, it will be waived. If they place an order and then upgrade within 31 days to a preferred customer, then that fee will be waived. So it's the exact same as that coach enrollment. Now it's just considered a membership fee, not a coach business fee. And let me come over here. If you are not muted, do you mind muting yourself? We're getting a little distraction from somebody, but I have my slides up, so it's hard for me to check that person. A couple other things that are important to know. Lifetime diamond coaches and above. It is not possible for you to be reclassified as a preferred customer. So if that is you, you can kind of look at that as you earned retirement, I guess, if you want to say that. You're excluded from technically needing to have that minimum activity requirement. If you have lifetime diamond coaches in your organization, they will not be, cannot be reclassified as a preferred customer. If they are no longer building and they want to be preferred customer, they would need to cancel their coach account and then re-sign up as a preferred customer. Now, there is an exception with your secondary business centers, and I see we have a few of you on this call that are in that scenario, so we'll talk about that in a second. Now, same thing again as it works with coaches, that if a preferred customer wants to now be with you, and maybe they were with somebody else, they would have to cancel their account, wait for 6 months, and then they can re-enroll. Okay, so exact same way as we have it now with coaches. Okay, one thing to point out, I know sometimes people don't pay attention to always to the new changes as they happen, but it used to be that you had 5 days. You now have 10 business days, by the way, to do any kind of transfer with when you sign up as a brand new coach. If you want to go to somebody else, you now have 10 business days. So just thought I would point that out. And then a few other things that are important to know. Now, if you decide, oh, I have a typo here. I apologize for that. If a preferred customer decides that they want to now upgrade and become a coach, the really great news is that because they were placed into that graphical genealogy in the binary structure, they have secured that spot. And so they're going to stay in that spot, and maybe they have volume that's been accruing underneath them on their strong leg that they can immediately start taking advantage of. So that's really cool. They also have the same ID number. Okay. Now, if somebody has not been a coach before and they had signed up as a preferred customer, they can also upgrade without paying that coach enrollment fee. So they paid a preferred customer fee, right, when they enrolled, but they don't have to pay the coach enrollment fee to upgrade unless it was someone who had been downgraded and is re-upgrading. Does that make sense? So that's only for first-time coaches. Now, the one thing that's really important to know, and this came up in a thread that I'm in as well, this is affecting a coach this week, and she has a customer who upgraded to preferred customer, and the volume that she had as a customer is not being transferred to preferred customer account. So I want everyone to kind of be aware of that's just how it is right now. And there's been the debate and the fight is being pushed against corporate to make a change on that, because as it is now, if someone was a customer and they upgraded to coach, they could call Coach Relations and make a request of like, hey, can you transfer my customer volume over to my coach account so I can be active? And they can do that. What I'm saying is they cannot do that right now for preferred customers. So I just want to make sure everybody's aware of that like that can affect you on your rank. If you upgraded one of your customers to preferred customer, they're not going to be an active preferred customer until their new order comes through. So I just want to make sure you guys are clear on that. Now, another really cool thing about these preferred customers is that when they upgrade to coach, they are considered a new coach and can take advantage of the Success Starter program, which is really cool. The way they can earn that free ticket to Summit as you as a coach working towards elite, that can really help you. Now, one thing to note when it comes towards the elite points, that they do have a caveat on that they must have been a preferred customer for at least 6 months. They don't want gaming of like, hey, you're an existing coach, downgrade a preferred customer, then upgrade the next day, because then you're thinking it will help you with your elite points. So that's just kind of a rule that will be, just to protect everyone. So I think I already mentioned this, but there's a huge benefit of being that preferred customer and then upgrading to a coach for free within the 31 days of being a new preferred customer. Now, I remember when it used to be that you could upgrade for free at any point if you had ever bought a challenge pack. And everything that I was seeing in the coach FAQ was saying that it's within 31 days. Now, I reached out to the compliance team, coach relations team to get clarification on that, and I have not heard back on. So we're just going with 31 days because that's what's in the coach FAQ. So I just wanted to also kind of point that out, because I know some people had asked a question of if they had ever bought a challenge pack, can they do an upgrade? Well, as it states in the coach FAQ, it's 31 days. So just so you're aware of that. Another really important thing to know is that if you are military or nonprofit waiver, and then also kind of ran into me in North Dakota. Well, actually, no, not North Dakota. North Dakota people can be preferred customers. But military, nonprofit waiver people can only be coaches. You cannot be a preferred customer. Okay, so this doesn't apply to people with military waivers. Okay, Now let's talk about the minimum coach activity. Now this is for people who have a coach account, and this is new. Well, first off, before I move on to minimum coach activity, are there any questions? Let me kind of come over here. There is a chat going. Let's see. Any questions that you guys
I have a question. Sorry. So in regards to the people dropping to preferred customer and then bouncing back up. Now, if I have a completely new client come in, enroll as a preferred customer, do they have to wait 6 months or can they jump to coach like 2 months later?
Oh yeah, so people can upgrade at any time. People don't have to wait 6 months. So that was just as far as like a different scenario. So, but the answer is yes. They can immediately upgrade. They can upgrade within a week. They could upgrade the very next day. Maybe they were really moved by a post that you made and decided the next day they wanted to upgrade. So yes, the answer to your question is yes. I'm assuming that you think that people normally have to wait 6 months. So I just want to clarify on that no, you do not, they do not have to wait 6 months. That 6 month thing that I was talking about is in two scenarios. One is if they want to change their sponsor and go to someone new, they have to cancel completely, wait 6 months and go to someone new, just like it is with coach accounts. The other thing where I mentioned 6 months is in regards to elite points for you as a sponsor. That like, if you have someone who was a preferred customer first and then now starts becoming a coach, if they had been a coach before, like coach before, dropped, coach again, there needed to be a period of 6 months where they were a preferred customer if they're going to contribute towards your elite points as a new coach. Does that make sense? Great. Okay, let me answer the questions in the chat. What if a preferred customer cancels their membership, but then decides they want to again with the same coach? They don't have to have any waiting period. They can upgrade at any time. Okay, is that good? So all military waivers, people who are military waivers already, they will stay as a coach. Yes, they will be exempt from the reclassification that is happening. Just like diamonds and above are exempt. And yes, if someone has their order that was a customer upgraded to preferred customer or preferred customer upgrading to coach, they will not be active until their next order. Okay, any other questions? Hurry and put in there. I've got the chat open now so I can see them. When they restart as a coach, they have to pay the coach startup fee, right? If they were a coach and downgraded. Yes. So they do have to pay that coach enrollment fee to sign back up the $40 fee. Great questions. You guys can keep them coming. Okay, now another new part of this is that we have to do a minimum coach activity. So a minimum coach activity is very, truly minimum, like it's very small amount. So the minimum coach activity is that to remain a coach, you have to have one of two activities. You have to either have one enrollment from a new coach or a new preferred customer within the last 6 months, or you need to have a order go through from one of your existing customers or existing preferred customers. So it's just one order or one sign up, okay? So the really cool thing about this that I love is that they're putting in writing, like, okay, all of these things, like this is just kind of what it is, but they did so many tests on like how many people does this actually affect, and it's such a like small fraction of a percentage of people who are not already doing this that like are earning a paycheck. So if you're earning a paycheck, that like it is going to be so rare that you have not done this. So I don't want it to be something that anyone's like stressed out about, but it is something to be very aware of, that there is a minimum activity that you have to remain a coach. So for a lot of people, if they're here as a discount coach, it truly is just best for them to be a preferred customer, and no reason for them to have that coach account. Is one of the requirements to stay a coach to have Beachbody On Demand active? The answer is no, but it is for the lead program. So if you're qualifying for the lead program to to have a Beachbody On Demand membership is part of that qualification. Coaches who don't have customers and it shows that they meet the requirements. So that must be that they must have had a customer at some point order in the last 6 months. And then maybe that customer, canceled or something, but they had at least one order. I mean, guys, my mom has a coach account and, she's hit the minimum coach activity. So, yeah. Now, one thing with this is that the best way to check all of this is that you can see in your dashboard when you log into your Coach Online office. Right there on the dashboard, it will tell you if you have hit the minimum coach activity. So it is going to show up there. And for you as a sponsoring coach, it also shows in the sponsorship drill down if your coaches have hit it or not. It gives a green check mark if they've hit it, and then an X if they have not. Okay. Now this is going to be checked every 6 months. And so there's that snapshot that's being taken at the end of September and just looking at everybody's account, September 30th. And then it will be moving forward based upon your enrollment date. And so they have your specific date in the Coach Online office. It also tells you all of that information in the drill down. So when you expand it out, you can see if you're on a one-on-one call with a coach and they're concerned about it, you can look that up. I personally am not going to be concerned about reaching out to people and telling them like, hey, you haven't hit it or you have or whatever, unless it's affecting rank. Like if they're an Emerald coach who's about to drop, and they're going to get so many emails. So they're going to get 3 emails before they would be reclassified. So they will know. Those emails also get copied to you. So you will not get caught off guard with this. You will be in the know if you're not hitting the minimum coach activity. You will also know if your coaches are not hitting the minimum coach activity. Okay. All right. Let me know if there's any. I like the emails that my coaches haven't met the requirements. So you know how long it takes to show the change if they didn't meet the required minimum. I don't know if I understand your question. Do you want to just unmute?
So on your account, they send you the emails of those coaches that aren't meeting the requirements. Do we know, or do you know how long it takes for them to like be switched over and then that change be shown in your coach office?
So there's a few different emails that they get. And the first one, which is the one that we all got, was 30 days before. So 30 days before, they're given a warning that they're in, like potentially going to be reclassified. And I'm pulling this up to make sure that I, because I want to, this was actually one of the things. So just recently, right before this all happened, corporate put together a little couple Zoom calls with some coaches. And even though I'm not on the coach advisory board, they asked me to kind of help with it. And so we went back and forth so many times on how many emails they should have and what those emails should say. So I'm like, what was the final say? 30 days before, 7 days before, and then like literally like the day before, like your pending thing. And then they will get a confirmation that it was done. So technically 4 emails, but 3 of them are like a heads up. And then one of them's like, congratulations. And we tried really hard with the wording to make it not seem like it was a negative thing and like a positive thing, because it is a positive thing. I wonder how long it takes to show it in your actual office. It won't show until they've actually moved over to preferred customer. So the emails that we got were just a warning of like, hey, the snapshot is coming in 30 days, September 30th. You need to make sure that you get that done. Does that make sense? Okay, so my husband doesn't meet the requirement, but has the volume, but not BOD, and has a 1 active coach underneath them. Okay, so we need to make sure that the volume doesn't come from personal orders, it has to come from a customer order. And then having an active coach underneath him, the active coach is a coach. It needs to be a preferred customer. So it's a preferred customer order, which we don't have yet, right? So that's why they were giving the extra 6 months for existing paid emeralds, of saying like, you haven't yet had a chance to have a preferred customer place an order because we don't have preferred customers out there yet. So we're going to give you an extra 6 months for one of your reclassified coaches, now preferred customers, to place an order. Does that help, Elma?
So I'm not sure because I have like right now, none of my coaches are like actually working, but then my husband, like, it shows that has to meet the requirements by September 30th, but it's still like he has one coach under him that is active.
So the coach won't help him hit the requirement. It has to be a preferred customer. And then if the volume is coming from his personal orders, it also won't count. It has to come from a customer order or a preferred customer. But let's connect after the call, and I'm happy to look at your account, and we will make sure that everything is as you understand it. So I will reach out to you. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now a couple things. There's a couple of you on here who have multiple business centers. Now, as you remember, I stated that coaches with a Diamond, Lifetime Diamond account cannot be reclassified. Now, there's a couple other big rules to know. A coach cannot have both a coach account and a preferred coach account. So none of you can be like, oh, I'm going to sign myself up as a preferred coach. You can't. You also can't create fake accounts or anything like that. That's gaming, and do not do it. Don't even think about doing it. You will have your account shut down. Like, that's just a hard line. It's gaming. It's just one of the big no-nos. So don't think like, oh, I can do it now that there's not a tax ID. No. But a coach cannot have both. So this means that, like, if you have a multiple coach business center, it's important for you to know that according to just the standard rules in the industry, it does need to still qualify by itself. So what they're doing with that is that if that secondary coach business center that you have, maybe even if it's a 2-star diamond rank, it still is going to have that every 6-month annual review. And if it does not meet the requirement, that account will be canceled, because it cannot go to a coach preferred customer account. So it will be canceled, and then all of those coaches will be sponsored by your primary business center, and then you can requalify, like with your rank, holding it and whatnot, to create a new coach business center. Okay, but you have to then requalify for that. And if it was a third business center, I mean, it's just all the same thing. So that does have to meet the requirements, and it's just as canceled. It is not downgraded, well, not downgraded, it's not reclassified as a preferred customer. Any questions on that? I know Robin, Sam, some of you good? Okay. All right, couple things to know. When people are reassigned from a coach to a preferred customer, all of their existing subscriptions just automatically transfer over. It comes out on the same date even. So their coach business fee is now the membership fee, their Beachbody On Demand, all the things, they're still paying the same price. So all of that just changes. They don't have to do anything about that. They also do stay in the genealogy where they were before. They just lose their lifetime rank. Okay, they also can't log into the coach online office, any of that kind of stuff. Here's a big thing though. All of the customers that they have will now be sponsored by you. And all of the coaches that they had will now be sponsored by you. Okay, if they choose to re-sign back up, they don't get those coaches back. They do not get the customers back. So it's important that if someone wants to be a coach, that they're on top of it, they're paying attention to that, because that is all moved to the sponsoring coach. when they are reclassified. Okay. Now, if there happen to be any unpaid commissions, the scenario where this happens is if someone is behind on their coach membership, coach fee, they do not get paid their commissions. That is the one requirement to be paid as a coach, is you have to pay your coach fee. If you haven't been paying that, they've been holding on to your commissions. That will be forfeited if you're reassigned to a preferred customer, and they can't sign anyone up. So they're not able to recruit, receive any money for that kind of thing unless they choose to pay the $40 and then be a coach again. They would have a new coach ID number. They would stay in the same spot, but they would be starting brand new as a new coach ID number, and fresh slate. No existing customers or clients or anything like that. Any questions on that? Okay. That's it, guys. When it comes to preferred customers and that minimum activity requirement, really that's everything that you need to know. They are treated like coaches in your coach business center. You are going to see if someone is not hitting that minimum activity requirement, you'll have the heads up, you're going to get the email notifications, and literally it is treated just like a coach account when it comes to your rate, when it comes to income, when it comes to the earning, like you're earning off of what they bring in with team volume. So they contribute the same with team volume. It's literally just giving a different name to discount coaches essentially. So, you know, corporate's not going to word it in that way, but it's just really kind of just making it formal of like, you didn't want to build the business anyway, right? You came in for a discount. So let's make it official. You now are here for the discount. What happens if you earned a commission, but it was under $10 and you didn't get it? I will find out that answer and I will get back to you. Can preferred customers go to Summit? So interesting enough, you actually, I don't know the specific answer and I will look up and let you know, but my guess is yes, because you don't have to be a coach to go to Summit. Like there is a non-coach ticket price. So I think that's like if someone is like a parent, you know, and they're wanting to watch their, you know, daughter be in the top 10, maybe they're not a coach, there is a ticket for them and they make them pay for that. So there's a non-coach. I always wonder, I'm like, why is there people going to Summit who are not coaches? So I would assume yes. Okay, I will look on both those questions though and get back to you. Any other questions? I love your questions. Okay, the last thing to go over and then we'll be done is earning volume. Now, earning volume is also new, and this is one of those requirements for you to get paid on team cycle bonuses. So what is your earning volume? Your earning volume is combined of two things, your preferred customer orders and your customer orders. So before, we really only had those customer orders to, you know, get an idea of how many customers you have. But now when you have your preferred customers also, they're going to take all of your PV, which is your customer PV is what we've normally called that. But now they're going to take the amount of the orders that are in your graphical genealogy and take that preferred customer order, and that combined is what your earning volume is. So it's typically going to be pretty high for most people because you're adding in all of those customer orders and the preferred customer order. But what this is important, why this is important, is that it is a requirement for you to earn your team cycle bonuses to have at least 50 earning volume every rolling 5 weeks. It is a requirement if you are an Emerald above and earning team cycle bonuses. Okay, so this is like really irrelevant for the basic standard coach account. Once somebody moves to Emerald and they're earning team cycle bonuses, they could be an active Emerald, like, and really the scenario, if you're active, essentially, well, no, I guess like the scenario could still be there. In my mind, I'm like, could this even really happen? But yes, you could be active only from your own personal orders and then have your active coaches on both sides and still be technically an emerald, but you would not earn any team cycle bonuses if you do not have any earning volume. So that's why this is important. Now it's only 50 volume, 50 earning volume every 5 rolling weeks. So just like personal volume is calculated on a weekly basis, and you always have to have at least 50 active points to be considered an active coach. Diamonds have to have 100 personal volume points every single week. It's calculated, and they look at the last rolling 5 weeks to give you that number. Star Diamonds have to have at least 200 volume points. So now in addition, you need to just make sure you have 50 earning volume points. Okay. Now, if you have 100 volume points as a diamond coach, most likely some of that's from customer orders and not only personal orders. Like most people, that's not how that is. But just keep in mind that that's something to just pay attention to when you're in qualification. Like when you have a brand new emerald coach, just do them a favor and look at the little volume EV in the sponsorship drill down to make sure that like you've told them how they're going to get a matching bonus or like a team cycle bonus. Just check that for them to make sure that they actually are going to get paid that team cycle bonus. Does that make sense? And now matching bonus and Star Diamond bonus is also important. So for Ruby and also for Diamond, Rubies get 5% matching bonuses on whatever their coaches earn on team cycle bonuses. Diamonds get a 10% matching bonus, and it's also going to affect that. So you will also not get that if you don't have your 50 earning volume every 5 rolling weeks. Okay, I'm gonna come to a question. So Diamond and above don't get reclassified, but you won't get paid cycle bonuses if you don't have 100 volume from customers or PCs every 5 weeks. So no, you only need 50. You won't get paid if you don't have 50 earning volume points. You won't be considered a diamond if you don't have 100 personal volume points. And that's always been the state. That's not new. So, but you just won't get paid if you don't have 50 earning volume. So you could technically have 100 personal volume from your personal orders, but earning volume, as I point on this previous screen, is only customers, combining all the customer accounts. Okay. So how exactly do we move a current? Great, we will come to that. Okay, last thing that I just want to make sure that people understand, if you don't have that 50 earning volume points and you're not getting paid on that team cycle bonuses, it's not lost. So that's the good news. It's going to be rolled over just like with carryover volume. So just make sure your coach gets it the next week, or make sure you get it the next week, and then you will get paid on the team cycle bonuses. However, with the matching bonus and the Star Diamond bonus, those are like so in the moment paid on that, like your coaches, what they're earning. The Star Diamond bonus, they're calculating how many people qualify and paying them right then. They can't like hold on to that and they can pay you later. So that is just, you just didn't earn it in that moment. And then the moment that you have your earning volume though, you then will start qualifying to earn it that next week. So it's not like you have to go through a qualification period or anything like that. It's either just a snapshot, you either have it or you don't. And so, yeah, but now what's kind of cool is all of your quote unquote discount coaches are contributing towards your earning volume. So I think it will be not a common thing that you run into that scenario, but it is important that you know about that, okay? And that is my end of my slides. So let me exit out of here and then I will answer questions. Yes, so it just rolls. It's not lost, which is really, really great. So as far as, and I should have done a slide on this, moving current customers to preferred customers. So there's 3 ways to do that. Well, 3 ways that people can become a preferred customer. One is, yes, in ShareAcart. ShareAcart, when you go in there and you enter in their email, now you see 3 options. You can sign them up as a customer, preferred customer, or as a coach. Okay, so right there in ShareCart. That's how you can get new people to become preferred customers. Existing coaches who want to become preferred customers, they can do so in their Team Beachbody account. Now, I think I'll log in and just show you, since I didn't make a screenshot, didn't do a screen about this. But you go underneath your memberships in your account, and I'm just logging in. Okay. Okay. Okay, so you come over here and click on the top right-hand corner where it has a little icon with your profile picture. Apparently mine doesn't have my profile picture in there. And you come over to, okay, let me make my thing smaller. There we go. So come over to your memberships. Sorry, I thought I was already logged in. I actually do have an image that just shows people how to reclassify themselves, and I will share that in our team page. But you click on my memberships, and then it shows you all of the things that you have that are on renewal, okay? And so the one that you click on is you click on this My Business Starter Kit right here, and you click to manage that, and then I would click cancel, and right then, that's how I can become a preferred customer. So I know people are like, oh, you're canceling the coach account, but yes, you are. Like, they're canceling their coach account and they're choosing to become a preferred customer. But that's how someone can reclassify themselves. You see how easy that was? I would just click on that and it gives me a confirmation page, and I hit submit. And so they don't even have to call in. They don't have to like print a thing out and then fax it in. It's just, they can do it really, really simple. So that's how they do it. Again, I just clicked on my memberships. It showed me all of my memberships and subscriptions. You guys have half of my address here. Sorry, I meant to click manage. And then you click cancel coach account, click preferred customer, okay? So that is how an existing coach of yours can move over to a preferred customer. And then the third way is that people can just be reclassified, like Beachbody will do it for them too. But yes. Does a coach under me not contribute to my earning volume? Correct. And we haven't had earning volume yet. This is a new thing. So, but earning volume is preferred customer and customer, just customer. Okay. Any other questions that you guys have? Okay. Well, I will post how do you do a current customer? A current customer, oh, okay. So you can send them a ShareCart. They can also, and you can then sign them up as a preferred customer. They can get that preferred customer enrollment fee of $40 waived in a challenge pack, just like we do with coaches. They can also log into teambeachbody.com, and if they were logged out, kind of at the top where it says like be a coach, it will also say like be a preferred customer. So it shows already in there for them, so they can do it themselves, or you can send them a ShareCart. Okay. You can unmute if anyone has any last questions instead of trying to type it out really, really fast, but I think we are good. So thank you all for tuning in tonight to our call. If you have any lingering questions or anything that comes up, I spent so much time like going over all the details to make sure I understand it fully. So I feel confident that I can answer your questions. There were 2 questions that I didn't know. I will get back to you and message you in privately. and let me know if you have any concerns, questions, and I will see you guys in the team pages. Thanks for being on.